Hello guys, I hope you're doing great. Welcome to my new video. We are in the middle of the spooky season now, and I always wanted to do something thematic like this. I love eerie vibes, I love dark themes in music, so now I think is the perfect moment to finally do it. I also realized that for the long time I have this vinyl record that you can see behind me. It's the BBC Sound Effects Volume 13, Death and Horror. Check out this beautiful cover, I think it's really great. So yeah, now is the perfect moment to finally use it. I also wanted to make it a little bit of a challenge, so I'm going to use only sounds from this vinyl record, except for the kick drum. I'm also a little bit excited because I don't remember the last time I sampled something from vinyl records. And that's something I used to do a lot in the beginning of my music production journey. So yeah, I think it will be a really fun challenge. If you're curious about the effect, let's see you after the jump. So first we have our kick and rumble group that sounds like this. There are three layers that make our low end. The first one is the actual kick that sounds like this. And actually all of those three groups, it's the same sample. So I always recommend to start with the good punchy kick. Start with the good sample or with the good patch. I always like to have a good sounds, good kicks prepared before. I'm not a big fan of trying to layer 5 different kicks now when I start to make a track. It's not that you cannot do it, although it can cause some other set of problems. But it's a viable technique. Just make it during the separate session, so you have your sounds prepared before you start to make an actual track. So yeah, like I said, we have this main kick. We have this delayed kick that sounds like this. And we have our rumble or bass layer that sounds like this. For the first sound, the actual kick, there is only this plugin that boosts a frequency around 50 Hertz. It's not an essential plugin. You can do it with the EQ. I just want to test it out because I recently got it. Then there is EQ, there is utility to make it mono and control the value, and there is a clipper at the end to cut off some peaks. So then there's this second layer, which is the same kick. It sounds like this. Like I said, it's the same sample, just the start of the kick is a little bit delayed. For the effects, there is echo, then there is EQ8 to leave just the narrow scope of frequencies between like 230 and 400. Then there is utility to make it mono and control the volume, and there is this DAC plugin which basically works like a sidechain, like it was sidechained to the kick, and it sounds like this. it adds this additional layer of rhythm. And then there is this third, the rumble part, that sounds like this. To make it, I use the same sample and the technique, the technique I showed you before. Let's do it again. It's just this initial kick. It's warped with the with the complex or complex pro mode. I made it two times longer, so it sounds like this now. And then I just left the tail, this bassy tail of the kick that sounds like this. You got the idea. As for the processing of this rumble part, there is shifter because I wanted two semitones higher. Then again, there is this boom plugin to boost frequencies around 50 Hertz. Then there is EQ8 to EQ the high frequencies. Then again, there is this DAC plugin, which is basically works like a sidechain to the kick. Utility to make sure it's mono and to control the volume. And this tuner plugin at the end. I just wanted to know the key of the rumble. Again, that's basically our low end. Another layer is this noise that sounds like this. It's just a noise from the vinyl record. I added in the first part of the track together with the kick and rumble. It sounds like this. So it adds this nice crunch. There is a portal. I was experimenting and try to do something more interesting with this. But finally, I just I leave it to just make it a little bit more audible. Then there is EQ8 to EQ the lowest frequencies and some highs. Utility to control the volume. I always like to have this utility plugin like almost at the end of the chain. And again, this DAC plugin to make it a little bit pumpy and groove better with the rest of the track. Then there is this percussion sound. Sounds like this. It adds additional texture and make the groove more interesting. Together with this vinyl noise and the low end sounds like this. As for the processing, well, you can see I put it into a drum rack. Then there is this Rift plugin. It's just add a bit of saturation. It's not really that necessary. I was just experimenting with different plugins. Then there is EQ8. Then there's compressor. Just a little bit of compression and utility at the end. And then there is this another layer that I called accents. Sounds like this. Again, it's just a sample inside the drum rack. There's quite a big reverb coming from Valhalla Supermassive. Without the reverb, it sounds like this. So it's just this little metallic sound. But I wanted to sound really big and deep, and Valhalla Supermassive makes the job done. And then there is EQ8 and utility together with the rest of our groove. Which is basically the intro to the track, sounds like this. One thing I forgot to mention in this accent layer, there is this second sample. It's really not that different. It's a little bit different. Sounds like this. Just a different part of the sample sounds a little bit wet. Next, I have this sort of the pad or lead sound that sounds like this. Originally, this sample sounds like this. I'm really not sure what it's supposed to be, but it's one of the nicest and more useful sounds I found on this record. Like like for the techno track. To make it even more interesting, I use this DS Tantra 2 plugin. I'll be honest with you, this plugin is very new to me, so I was mostly experimenting with this, browsing through the effects and tweaking them, and yeah, that's what I came up with. I used some automation, like here in the later part of the track. I played with the filter cutoff, with this lo-fi effect depth. Let's hear it with the rest of the track. So yeah, it makes really interesting dark kind of the path. As for the processing, there is EQ8. There is this Soothe plugin that removes the harsh resonant frequencies from the audio material, and there was a lot of them. Yeah. was really useful. It was really useful to get rid of those harsh frequencies. Then there is compressor, just a little bit of compression utility, and the clipper at the end. Next, there is this brief sample that sounds like this. There are like two layers of it. The first one is just like a single breath with a lot of reverb. Again, coming from Valhalla Supermassive. And the second layer is it's the same sample, just I use this long sample in the breakdown. That I think is the longest sample from this record that I used, and it sounds like this. So yeah, it may be a little bit cheesy, but I think it sounds really nice and make a really good dark atmosphere in the breakdown. Next, there is this little build-up sound that sounds like this. It's very simple. It's just a part of the sample that originally sounds like this. I added this auto filter with the automation on the frequency, and I think there is also an automation on the volume of the track, just to make this sweep and use it like a build-up razor sound that leads to the next part of the track. And then there is only EQ and utility. Next, we have this another sample that sounds like this. Originally, this sample is crickets, I guess, like a classic horror atmosphere sample. Sounds like this. Again, I added this DS Tantra 2 plugin, played with some presets, and came up with this. Then there is EQ8. Again, there is this Soothe plugin to get rid of the resonant and pleasant frequencies, and utility at the end. together with the rest of our track, it sounds like this. Next we have another pad/lead sample that sounds like this. It's just this small little part of the sample that originally on its own sounds like this. And again, I use this DS Tantra 2 plugin to make it more interesting. I forgot to mention, but you can probably see it's a multi-effect plugin with the step sequencer. So it's really useful to make these rhythmic structures out of the random samples. And again, I played with the presets, then played with the setting of those presets, and came up with something like this. Together with the rest of the track, it sounds like this. Then we have this snare sample. It's not only the snare, but at the beginning it was only the snare sample. Sounds like this. It's just one of this percussive sound I found on the record. But then I added a few more sounds to this, so it makes like another percussion groove that sounds like this. Then there is one more small change. I added this corpus effect to this. Originally it sounds like this. So it really makes this sound much more interesting and prominent in the mix. Then again, I use EQA to cut some frequencies, to boost some high frequencies, and there is utility and the clipper at the end. And there is one more percussive sound. It's this clap that sounds like this. It's another small percussive sound that I found on the record. I added a drum bass because it was a little bit thin. EQA to get rid of the low frequencies, and again utility and the clipper at the end. Together with the rest of the sound, it sounds like this. Then it changes pattern and it sounds like this. And there is one more percussive sample. It's this sounds like a chime, but originally it was like a rattling chain sound. Like your classic ghost samples. And then we have one more fat sample. Sounds like this. Actually, it's the same sound that we used before at the beginning of the track, just with the different plugin on it. This time I use this Influx plugin. It's a great free plugin that I showed you in my last tutorial. I recommend everybody to try it because it's really fun. Makes really nice sounds. Again, it has this kind of the step sequencer, so it's great for making these rhythmic textures. Without it, it sounds like this. So you can see how it changes completely the character of the sound. Well, maybe not completely, but make it much more interesting. Then there is EQ8, like always. Again, this Soothe plugin to get rid of unpleasant frequencies, compressor utility, and the clipper at the end of the chain, together with the rest of the sounds. It sounds like this. Then we have our hi-hat that sounds like this. Sorry. So again, it's made from the percussive sound I found on the record. I make it 9 semitones higher. Originally, it sounded like this. I I added this Corpus plugin, Corpus effects, to make it sound more metallic. And then there is EQ8, so as you can see there is a quite a boost at the high frequencies. I just wanted to cut a little bit more through the mix. Then there is utility to control the volume, and there is clipper at the end to cut off some peaks, shave off some peaks. One more thing, there is a return track with the delay. It sounds like this. Sorry. Together with our hi-hat. And I think it's the only place where I used this return track. There is a second hi-hat. It sounds like this. It's sort of a shaker. Okay guys, that's it. We went through all the sounds. It was fun little exercise. You can probably do much more with it, but I also gave myself some time limit as the part of this challenge. And I have to say, I'm pretty happy with the results that I achieved. This whole record is on YouTube. You can download it and try it for yourself and see what you can come up with. Thanks for watching. If you like it, I kindly ask you to like and subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it yet, and see you in my next video.